Hey guys, welcome back to the Paper Umbrella. My name's Jessie and today we're talking about cruising again. I was absolutely blown away that my most popular video so far was the faster to the fun, is it worth it video. So you guys want to watch cruising videos? I'm going to film some cruising videos. So this next series that I'm going to be doing for you guys, few videos, I don't know, is going to be about for my first time cruisers. So it's going to be for my cruise rookies, my cruise newbies, whatever you want to call yourselves. This is going to be who it's for. This is going to be for the people who have never cruised before. Obviously, I've said that like 30 times. Sorry. It's been one of those mornings. So we're going to be doing that today or the next few days, honestly. And I just want to go over all these things with you because I was talking to some awesome ladies who came into my store the other day. They told me they were going on a cruise. I was asking them a million questions that they had no idea the answers to. They didn't know it was a thing, and they really didn't know how much that they didn't know. Because there's a lot of things that, like cruise vlogs and message boards and stuff, they don't really cover, or blogs, they don't really cover them. So it's the nitty gritty stuff that's really not fun to talk about. It's really not fun to watch, but it's super informative. And had my first cruise not been with a veteran cruiser, I would have been very upset if they hadn't told me a lot of this stuff beforehand. So that's what I want to go over with you guys today. Is I'm gonna start with from getting from your car to the terminal. The next one's gonna be from the terminal to the boat, and then the last one's gonna be you're on the boat now. What? So I'm gonna talk about that first little part of the cruise, getting on the boat. And honestly, I believe there's a bar at the end of that journey because you need a drink afterwards. My blood pressure always rockets after just getting on the boat. It's the most stressful part of a cruise every single time. There's just so many moving parts to it that are just, it's such a pain. Now, I will say this, a lot of this is going to vary from port to port, even a little bit from cruise line to cruise line. I've mostly sailed with Carnival, so some of this stuff is going to be Carnival specific, but for the most part, it's going to vary from port to port, but this is just kind of a general overlay of some little tips and tricks I think you need to know. I was going to say something else. Can't remember. Must not have been important. I'll put it in later if it is. All right. So let's start from parking and we'll go from there. So when you drive up to the port, you really have two options when it comes to parking. You can either park off-site. It's usually cheaper. They'll shuttle you to the port, or you can park at the port at the terminal. Having done both, I am parking at the terminal every single time now. I will gladly pay the extra money to park there. There's less of a chance of your luggage getting lost that way. It's one less moving part in that. It's usually it's a lot quicker to do it that way. I prefer it. Last time I went to New Orleans and left out of there, we parked off site. I wish I hadn't. I wish I would have just handed over the couple books and done it that way, because it wasn't worth, having to wait for everyone's luggage to be loaded onto the shuttle and then loaded off of the shuttle, and then it was too much. And then getting home was like, oh, I don't want to wait, I want to just go home. So there's those two options. If you're taking like a Lyft or an Uber or a taxi from the airport to the port, this will be something that is included for you too. So yep. So you say this is all assuming that you're parking at port, because if you're taking a shuttle, it's a little bit different and you don't have to do quite as much. But if you're parking at the port, number one tip, please take it away from this. If you take nothing away from this video, it is this: have your boarding pass on you at all times. Just go ahead, staple it to your shirt, have your boarding pass with you constantly, because you'll have to show it to about 500 people. That's it. That's like my number one tip. Have your boarding pass on you at all times. You have to. Just have it. Just have it all the time. Because when you first get there, in order to even pull through security, you have to show them your boarding pass. You just have to show it to them. You have to say, yes, I am parking here for a reason. I'm not just coming in to steal stuff from people's cars. So they will need to see your boarding pass. So do not have it in the back, packed up, in your luggage, in the trunk, because that's not going to do you any good. You need to have it in hand to show the security officer, hey, I'm parking here. Cool? Cool. The next thing you want to do, and they may inspect your car. I don't know. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So if you see like a drug dog or you see like these little mirror things, like that's just them checking. So they may inspect your car. Don't take it personally. They just want to make sure that everyone's safe. That's what they're there for. They're there for your safety. So let them do their job. No big deal, I promise. After that, you will pull kind of into this covered area that is the actual terminal. And you'll come back to that area eventually. But what happens is you'll pull in and they will take your luggage from there. So you'll just grab your luggage. So I should say this. If you are going to be, if you have like a carry-on with you, so if you have like Cokes or drinks or anything like that, if you're sailing Carnival, or you have like a beach bag that you're going to carry onto the boat with you, those need to be, do not give them to the luggage handler. You will not see them again. You need to give all your other luggage to them. So if you have a garment bag, your bigger suitcases, those all need to be given to your porter. And they all need to have luggage tags on them. So just make sure you have them on there. I always carry an extra set of luggage tags in my carry-on just in case like we have too many carry-ons or we have something we didn't plan on bringing. I can always just put a luggage tag on it and we're good to go. I'd rather be safe than sorry. But everything needs a luggage tag or they're not going to know where it goes and it may or may not make it onto the boat. So luggage tag everything. I usually even have a luggage tag on my carry-on just in case it gets lost. They know where to deliver it to. So luggage tags forever. You want to make sure you're keeping your documents. So don't put your boarding pass back into your luggage because you'll need it, like I said, about 1,000 times. Make sure you have all your IDs out of your luggage because that's going to be taken. You're not going to see this luggage again until potentially 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock that afternoon. So you want to make sure you have that on you at all times. And like I said, if you have those drinks, keep your drinks. At this point in time, I like to tip those guys. Those guys usually aren't employed by the cruise line. They're employed by the port. So even if you've prepaid gratuities, those guys usually get left out. And also they have your luggage. So I usually tip them pretty good because I want my luggage to not only make it onto the ship, but also maybe not get tossed around too awful much. So I always tip them really well. After you take your luggage, after they take your luggage, you're going to get back into your car and then you're going to drive to the parking lot. You're going to park. Then you and your carry-on are going to go right back to where you just were and to actually get into the terminal. At this point, I like to make sure that there is a buddy system in place, especially if you have a large group. Last time I cruised, we had a group of like 13 or 14. We did not have a buddy system. I wish we had. That would have made life so much easier in the long run. Buddy system. When you go through the terminal, and I'll get to that next time, they really just slide you through. There's no stopping. There's none of that. So you want to make sure you have a good buddy system going on. If you are going with a large group, we wore matching t-shirts. That was fantastic because we could see each other from a mile away. We looked dorky. The pictures we got were dorky. The younger ones of us were like, ugh. But honestly, it helped to be able to identify people through this super stressful process. So buddy system it up, wear your t-shirts because that's going to come in handy in your next one. But yeah, that's what I have. Make sure you have your buddy system because you're going to want to keep your group together for sure because like I said, it's going to get crazy from here on out. Go ahead and have your ID and your boarding pass in your hand. Like I said, staple it to your shirt. They're going to scan it. They're going to want to look at it 1,000 times. So go ahead and have those handy, have your carry-ons, and then just head on back to the terminal. And that's where we're going to pick up next time. So if you guys have any questions about parking or any of that stuff, leave them down below. You can always email me at thepaperumbrella.travel@gmail.com, or you can go to my website, www.thepaperumbrella.com, or ring the bell for subscriptions. If you like this kind of video, I am going to be doing, like I said, a few more in this. But yeah, if you are a veteran cruiser, leave below your parking tips. I want to know. I want to know what your thoughts are. Do you park off port? Do you park on port? Let me know below. But that's it today for the Paper Umbrella. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for taking the time out of your day. Please like this. Please. I would really appreciate it. But thank you guys so much. Yeah, so that's it from the Paper Umbrella. Now go out there and make some waves. Bye.